what the title is going to be by the way this game will actually start. The game is powered by Namco. It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer. Here we go. This brings back memories. Ridge Racer. Remember that one? Here we go. Whoa. Ridge Racer. All right. Oh, this brings back memories. I don't know if it's just me, but here we go. Whoa. Ridge Racer. Go. Go. Ridge Racer. Whoa, it's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. It's 1995. All right. Go. Ridge Racer. Whoa, it's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer.
It's 1995. Go!
Pick up the audio first. All right. Ridge.
Oh my god. Hello, everybody.
Here we go.
Took me a while to find this meme track. Absolute classic. Hello, Lapis, Garrus. Never gonna give you up. Great to see you all. Let us get inside. Alright. So, today on the menu is Ridge Racer, of course. Oh shit, my little Lexus still turning up there. 1 second. There he goes. It's gone. I did a nice little sign here. As you can see, I did my best interpretation of the sign girl. Today is, of course, a classic launch title for the PlayStation 1, and we're going to revisit it together. I hope you're all hearing me okay and seeing me okay. Let us jump right in. I set up my capture card well in advance this time, so there should be no blue screen, I'm hoping. Yeah, good. Thank you. Alright, so let's get over there and do some drifting. What do you say? Here we go. Right, let me just turn around here. Hey. Alright. Okay, so here we are at the menu screen. This game, of course, I'm not on the leaderboard yet. I've just turned this thing on. I hope to get there later. We will see. So let's look at the little demo sequence here. So this game, of course, was a launch title for the PlayStation 1, and this was really one of the early 3D races that made a big impact. That's a good idea, Karis. But I would be pretty humiliated if I don't make it after this whole stream. I don't think it's that hard to get on the leaderboard on this one. It's doable, I think, even by my standards. I've had my Negcon plugged in and I've been practicing a bit today. The drifting in this, it's not on the level of the later games. It's not quite as smooth as R4, for instance, but it is. It's after some getting used to, it works okay. Anyway, here we are at the menu. So this game has some interesting unlockables, where I think you start off with, I believe, 4 cars, and you unlock more, from what I recall, you unlock more from playing the Galaxian minigame, which comes on just as you start the game, and you unlock another one from beating all the tracks, first place, and basically, I think there's mirror tracks as well, but I'm not sure if you have to beat them. Maybe you do. But in any case, let us start here. We're just going to do the beginner course. I'm going to leave it on manual, leave it on the default red car, and we'll leave sound select on 1. This is of course a port from the arcade, so options are pretty limited, but it's still a very fun game. Okay, here we go. Oh Jesus, hold on a second guys. I thought I changed the controls, but apparently I did not. I think actually what I did was I accidentally changed them as I was fiddling around. Okay, yep, blah blah blah. There we go. I like accelerate on the right shoulder, personally, but everybody has their preference. Okay, now we're going for real. 3, 2, 1, go! All right. Okay, hope the volume's okay. Hope you can hear the classic music here and see everything cool. We're gonna let's see how much we can breeze this or not. Well, there's the first drift, and there's the second. A little drift heavy there. So this game came, this version came out in 1995, and it came at a very interesting time in gaming, I'd say, where everybody was just entering the 3D stratosphere, so to speak, and this looked really good for the time, and it still looks okay. It's the graphics are quite stylized, thankfully. So like it doesn't have the pixelated look that a lot of other PlayStation games have. Everything is very simple textures, and yeah, I think it holds up pretty well. Really, they all look quite good as far as the Ridge Racers go. But like, yeah, this just it's just oozing with style. I think you know you got so many like vibrant colors and stuff. So let's see if we can get to first place here. Oh, that wasn't good. And yeah, like around the time this came out, there was definitely a big rush to get 3D in the homes, you know, where Sega's answer to this at the time was the first Saturn port of Daytona USA, which really doesn't look that good compared to this, especially in regards to frame rate and just overall playability, because that came out a good while before the Sega Saturn 3D controller, and you were just limited to the digital D-pad at that time. So this, on the other hand, came out with the Negcon, which I'm using right now, which is really, like, when you first see it, the thing doesn't look like it'll work that well. It's got a really odd shape, and yeah, it would still be popular. Like if you put this in there now, I think it would still, like, there's something about it. It would grab people, you know. It's like it's third place for this one, but I'll try again. But yeah, it would still grab people. But like, yeah, the whole scene back then was just like Sega fucking things up over and over and over, and I really like Daytona USA as far as the arcade game goes, but they just didn't really have their best people on the job when it came to the Saturn port, and it got rushed out for a pretty bad frame rate, pretty pixelated graphics, and when you looked at it side by side with this, which runs at a nice steady 30 and has simplified graphics, I think the cars do have a bit more detail in the arcade, but everything still looks basically like it should. And yeah, it's a really good game. It's a bit simple compared to the later Ridge Racers, though. Like compared to something like Ridge Racer 7, obviously it has very little content. It's just got one stage essentially that introduces different bits depending on which difficulty you chose. So it's all roughly the same stage, but it has different areas that appear depending on the difficulty, which obviously require more complicated driving as you go. And yeah, it's quite. I think that was pretty common back then. I think Virtua Racing by Sega sort of started that whole idea of just having the same rough stage and just having alterations of it. But yeah, like Virtua Racing was the first 3D. Actually, I think Virtua Racing was the first good 3D racing game. I think the first 3D one was Atari's Hard Driving, which I never really got into because it's just it's all first person and it's all like flat shaded polygons, and it's quite cool from a technology standpoint. But as far as one that actually felt like a fast paced, racing game sort of deal, I think Virtua Racing is definitely it. And that was 1990, and this was 1993, so this is coming on, shortly after that, and sort of introducing textures and things like that into the equation, just things that make it pop a lot more. And like, yeah, it has some pretty cool effects too. Like something I mentioned the other day is that when you go into a tunnel, you do get a nice echo effect, which is very immersive for the time. And jeez. And okay, second place this time, I think. We're on a slow journey to first place on beginner mode. But this is standard. Let's mix things up, and I'll change the song this time, because this game has an amazing soundtrack. I think this soundtrack has been on this and all the other Ridge Racer soundtracks have been on rotation in my ears for like the past 20 years. It's just you really can't go wrong with any of the tracks, really. I'm gonna try and get a good start this time. There we go. But yes. I do think the bummer about the arcade ports of the Ridge Racer games is that a lot of them are pretty bare bones in terms of features. Like my favourite, as I've probably mentioned, is R4, which was the final one to come out on the PlayStation, and that has a really cool story mode and just tons of unlockables and stuff. It was designed for the home, so it comes across as a game that has the features you'd expect from a home game with loads of content. And these arcade games, they do have a decent amount of unlockables and all that, but because they're arcade games, you can't really expect too much. You're essentially just getting the arcade experience. But that actually did mean something back in the day, because for a long time, I think I was saying this the other day as well, there was such a wide gap between what was in the arcade and what was at home. And this is kind of when it started to close a little bit. I wouldn't say it was all there yet, because certainly there were some other games that were just like insanity. I think the one that always comes to mind is Scud Race, which came out I think 97, and just it looks like a late stage PS2 game. It looks unbelievable, and that's just what the arcade was all about back then, just shoving as many parts in a little machine as possible and just pushing the hell out of it. And you really didn't have those advantages on the home consoles until I'd say Xbox 360, PS3 generation. At that point it was about even, but that was as the arcade was starting to lose favour, and obviously at this point the arcade is still continuing to lose favour, and it's not really a going concern anymore. In fact, a lot of arcade games that are relatively modern are just running Windows. they're just PC games, and that's just the easy way to do it now. Like arcade hardware, there's no point in even bothering with it. Oh dude, yeah, we're back. Okay, we just about saved that. I thought I was going to fall behind that guy, but we finally got our first place on beginner. Thank you, thank you. He got everything on camera and he's going to watch it later. I'm glad he's so impressed. Oh, dude, this music is just the best. I still haven't made the leaderboard, but I will eventually, in theory. Let's look at the other cars. So this guy is slightly better for handling and traction, but with a slight loss in acceleration and top speed. And this guy is just like all handling, I suppose, and all, but like also has a pretty good acceleration. I think I'm gonna try the second car. For this next one, because why the hell not? And yeah, we'll see what we can do. But yeah, another racing game that has a story mode, another Ridge Racer game, is R Racing Evolution on various multi-platform stuff, which I was just playing recently and only recently discovered, because I always figured, oh well, the things people say about it is, oh well, it's the Ridge Racer, and they're trying to get the Gran Turismo audience. You know, they're looking to do like a kind of a simulation style game. And when you actually play it, like, it's barely simulation at all. It's definitely, I think, when people talk about simulation in video games, in particular in driving games, there's kind of a balance. So like, I would say if you pick up Gran Turismo right now, it's simulation all the way. You know. But if you were to pick up, say, Gran Turismo 1 or 2, I would say those are more on the, I guess people call it Simcade, which is more like it's got some simulation elements, but it's also very arcadey in other ways. Hence why they actually had an arcade mode back then. Sorry, this car doesn't control as good as the last one, but I'm getting there. But yeah, all the Ridge Racer games are just great in my opinion, aside from the very last one, I think, and maybe the DS game. I think I remember being pretty bad, but and I think that was just a bad port of the N64 port of I think it's this game. It could be the second game, but it's certainly one of them. Anyway, I'm finally starting to make some progress here. But yes, after that point, I think Ridge Racer 5, after R4, of course, went back to kind of an arcade style, because it actually was an arcade game, while R4 was a home game. And that meant that, again, it was kind of bare bones in features. Although, like, it did look really good for the time. You know, certainly there wasn't a big gap in technology or anything. But like, I think it's a shame that the whole, like, home console story mode sort of single player experience didn't take off a bit more, because these games, like, they're certainly fun multiplayer, but I think the big issue is a lot of the consoles of the time couldn't really handle proper multiplayer, you know, the split screen and all that, because you're essentially rendering everything twice, and you know, just rendering it once was impressive enough for a lot of these. And I think on some of the Ridge Racers, I think you could do the console hookup thing, where you actually hook two PS1s up together and have like two televisions, and you could do it that way. I've never actually experienced that, but I've seen the option all these years, and I think it would be pretty cool. Very old school there, having two big CRTs just sitting there so you can play Ridge Racer properly. Oh jeez, why? What kind of makes this look a little more primitive is the physics, where if you whack into the back of somebody, he just goes flying. It doesn't matter how slowly you're going. But they were trying their best. Like, what can you say? All right, I don't think this car's a very good fit with me. I might go back to the default, but I'll finish the race just for the hell of it. And yeah, as I mentioned, drifting in this is hit and miss. I think I just about got the hang of it with the first car, but this one doesn't feel as smooth. And Drifting is kind of one of those things that is very difficult to get right in a video game in general. I think my two favourite drifts, if I had to name some, were R4, definitely, and Outrun 2 is my other favourite, where drifting in those two just feels so good and it feels so easy. It just feels intuitive, you know? It's like going back to what I was saying about the Negcon. Like, it looks like a complete, artistic disaster, but when you actually use the thing, it feels intuitive, it feels right, and that's kind of what you want from video game drifting. You want it to feel like you're actually maintaining speed, you're actually, you're using the brake, but you're not slamming into the wall, like all that stuff. And yeah, like I would say at this point, and it started off this way, as I said, with this being a launch title and all that. The PS1 has so many good racing games. It's just absolutely, it's an endless list for sure. And it really started here, where this kind of made it a going concern. Like, oh, this is the console you put your racing games on. Because when you look at, in comparison to Saturn, like, very little. I think, well, obviously everybody knows the hardware wasn't really designed for 3D. They kind of made it work towards the end of its development, adding little bits and pieces to it. But as far as racing games go, like, it really didn't have the cream of the crop, and the N64 was just like, there was barely anything. There were go-kart racing games, of course. There was Mario Kart, which was fun, but as far as stuff like this, like, Ridge Racer, I think it has courses from this one and courses from the second game. It has a N64 port, but I've never much cared for that one. I always thought it was a bit too twitchy to control and just didn't really work too well with the controller, because it was a bastard of a controller. It worked really well for some games, but for racing games it just was not very intuitive, let's say. And that stick, of course. Anybody who's used an N64 controller for a decent amount of time will know that the sticks wear away, and that is the last thing you want in a racing game. Look at this drift. I was doing that drift for like 10 seconds. I was a complete mess. I was defeated by my own carelessness there. I just could not stop drifting. Probably one of my favourites on the N64 is probably Beetle Adventure Racing, of all things, where you race a beetle all around a bunch of locales. that as far as racing games go, actually does play quite well, but it's really few and far between on the console. So if you were making a racing game at this time, it would be the PS1, and there really wouldn't be much discussion about it. And this is where it all began. Yeah, likewise, like, when you go into the next gen on the PS2 and the Xbox and the GameCube, everything was kind of getting multi-plat at that point, where things were starting to appear on all the consoles. And generally the PS2 at that point was not getting the best version. I can think of quite a few games where the PS2 version will get like will run at will run at a pretty bad frame rate, and will like have certain compromises made. And I don't know, the PS2, I think it's good hardware, but like, I think as far as just overall beef goes, it was all about back then, I would say, like, with where racers were going at the time, it was going to the streets, It was going, your Need for Speed undergrounds and that kind of thing. It was becoming more about, oh well, you can render things fast, but can you render that neon light underneath the bottom of the car? And at that point, like, the PS2 wasn't really ready for it, because you're getting like. You're giving the console so much to do, and you're asking it to go like, a steady 30 FPS, and my personal preference is probably the original Xbox, that gen, as far as like the racing games. I would say they all run pretty well on there, and they run okay on the PS2. But like looking at something like Midnight Club 3 or Outrun 2, like the best versions are always on the Xbox, and you know that's kind of how it went there, which is weird because Sony was absolutely on top of things this gen at least with the racing games. Okay, so I gotta stop messing around here and get first place on this, and we can finally see those extra cars and extra courses. Sort of getting the hang of the drift now, thankfully. Oh, a little jump! Wow, that didn't happen before. I guess I must have been I must be doing faster speeds. And yeah, this music is just the most 1993 thing imaginable. I do love it. It reminds me of you know, rave culture and all that kind of stuff that was going on at the time. There's really very little like it. I'd say even as the Ridge Racer games progress, like they all have amazing soundtracks, but like there's nothing that really sounds like the first two games. And maybe Rave Racer as well and Rage Racer. They have a few tracks, but they're sort of starting to move towards the other, I guess, more ambient sounds, more drum and bass kind of thing that the later games kind of go into. And then things get a bit more electronic as you get into the PSP games and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very catchy shit by and that's putting it lightly. Like this stuff will hang around in your head. I've got to increase my speed and increase my skills here. Okay, let's pass these guys. Of course, an ongoing challenge of becoming a streamer is having to talk and drive. Which, you know, I'm certainly trying my best to, but I could probably do this a little better if I was in 100% focus mode. But come on, like, it's not very entertaining to just be in complete silence. So you will have to watch me suffer a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, I'm doing a little better actually. I'm getting yep, I'm getting past third place here. Oh, come on, come back. Yep, come on, go down. Oh, stop drifting. Ah, there we go. Well, there's a third place. I think we're close. Just like before, I think first place is very close indeed. And yeah, going back to what I was talking about earlier. The whole politics of the gaming landscape at this time when this came out is just so funny. I love it. I just love going back and looking at shit that happened. And this launch of the PlayStation 1 was just like such a big deal. And around the time that the PlayStation was unveiled and all that, the one I always remember is the E3, I think it was. I think they had E3 back then, where Sega sort of gave some details on the Saturn and did their surprise launch of the console, and which essentially means that, you know, on these all these people who came to E3 just to get details actually found out, oh shit, it's out right now. You know, the stores actually have it right now, and you know, you'd think, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, how can Sony compete? And Sony literally just sent out a guy to, you know, go on stage and just say $2.99, and that was the entire fucking conference. It was just a guy saying the number $2.99, and that's all it took, because that is a price point that people were interested in back then. You won't have to fucking remortgage your house to buy this console. That's what people wanted to hear. And that was kind of the beginning of the end for Sega, you know. The Saturn obviously didn't do too well. I really like the Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast is great hardware and has loads of good racing games, but it was too little too late for them. Like, they couldn't really recover. And, you know, I hope to play some Dreamcast stuff next week. that is the plan. But yeah, like it's just such a fun time in gaming. I'd say it really like the quarrels that they have now really are nothing compared to the banter that was happening back then. Okay. You know, I thought I did that corner just fine, and then as it turned out, I was stuck in a drift. That happens. Maybe I need to drift a little less. I don't know. I might be getting drift happy here, because sometimes you can get a good advantage by just not drifting. Okay, we're not finished yet. Still a checkpoint, so still time. 6th gear is kind of tricky to get to in this one, because it does slow you down a little bit. Like you have to be going really fast for it to actually be for it to actually be something that will help you and not just slow you down. Yeah, for sure. Like, this thing was still getting sequels up until like a short while ago, really. I think, yeah, it got a sequel. Got sequels on the PSP and I think one on the Vita. So it wasn't that long ago that the series really finished its run, and just a hell of a run it was, really. Like, a lot of people are kind of undecided about the. I'd say sort of Ridge Racer 6 onwards, when they start introducing nitrous and stuff like that. It's kind of going into the Need for Speed style stuff. But I really like those games too. Like Ridge Racer 7 on the PS3 I like a lot. I think it still looks really good as well. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 4th place for this one. But yeah, like this went on for so long, and like it kind of outlived a lot of its contemporaries, you know? Like, certainly by the time Ridge Racer 7 and all that was coming out, Sega weren't bringing anything to the table as far as racing goes, Like, they survived through a lot of shit and through a lot of changes in, in what people were, consuming and all that. And, people were still buying them and still loved it. But, I think, I don't know what exactly got into their head where they just thought that the series was too outdated. What I think it was personally is, the disastrous E3 conference. The meme song at the beginning was obviously comprised of clips of. That kind of like probably gave Sony cold feet about Ridge Racer in general, where they kind of thought, oh well, everybody just thinks it's a joke. Like, let's not bother making any more. I think they made 7 after that, I think, but it was already in development. But like, that was after that. I think the first new game was Unbounded, which was just like a complete reboot, where they were trying to, look at it and look at the competition and just try and copy everybody else. And nobody wanted that. Like, this game has a very specific appeal. Yeah, they lost it along the way, I would say, for sure. And that's just gaming in general. I think like when you start trying to reinvent the wheel on shit like this is when you lose track of what people are actually here to enjoy, and that's why stuff like this will always stand the test of time, because you've got bright graphics that pop, you've got great gameplay, you've got good music. Like, you really can't go wrong with any of this. These cars have barely a polygon to spare, but it's still fun, it still holds up, and you could put this in front of any kid and they'll probably still find it really fun. It's just that's why simple is better. When you try and overcomplicate things, you just end up losing your core audience and not gaining a new one. And that is exactly what happened, unfortunately. And yeah, I do really like. I remember watching that E3 conference I was just talking about. I remember watching it on a stream back in the day, back in 2005, I think, or 2006. They were unveiling everything, and like that was really new shit at the time. Like, oh, I can actually watch this. Oh, okay, cool. And I remember watching it, and the memes just instantly came out, like the YTMNDs and stuff back then. People just immediately immediately started poking fun at Sony. And I remember there was that meme of the PSP ejecting its games by accident, which was like the joke was, oh, it's a feature, it's not a bug. And Ridge Racer was a casualty in all that nonsense, which is just too damn bad. Because like I for one did get a PSP shortly after that and did want to play Ridge Racer, but the thing about it is, because of the reception to that, they didn't actually put it on the PSN store on the PSP, which was just baffling. What they did is they put it on the PSN store on the PS3, but I think the PSP port of that ended up not coming out. And in the end, because I think me and just about everybody ended up hacking their PSPs, it really didn't matter much. Of course, I did play Ridge Racer. I had all of them on there and had a great time. But you know, it was just a shame how it all kind of went downhill at that exact moment. Oh, excuse me. So here we go, third again. It's about time for me to get this first, I think. But we are getting there. It's remarkable how how much better I am at like R4 than this, because the drifting and the controls are just so much better. But like, of course they are. That's about 5 games ahead of this, so no kidding. Okay, so we're gonna try this one more time. Probably a few more times. I like how the girl puts up a sign with your skill level. I much appreciate seeing intermediate over seeing novice. Her holding up a sign saying novice is just rubbing salt in the wound. Thankfully, I don't think this game insults you the same way the last 2 games I've been playing do. Radmobile a couple days ago, if you do anything less than the best possible run, it will just shit on you. And this just lets you try again. And you just have to look at the girl holding up the sign. So it's all good. Oh, that's okay. That helicopter's getting very low. And that could be a casualty waiting to happen. Come on, let's do some catching up here. Oh, I'm still in 6th. Jeez. Alright. Oh, jeez. An interesting thing, going back to R4, that came with that game is a demo disc, which has a 60 FPS version of this that runs natively on the PlayStation, which is very cool. But the downer with that, as far as the arcade experience and all that goes, is that there's only one car on the road along with you. So you can't really consider it a true version of Ridge Racer. It's just kind of a neat little bonus. I mean, if they could have kept all the cars on the road, that would have been great, but as it stands, you know, it's relatively impressive. Oh, excuse me. Something that the Ridge Racer games introduced later. Yeah, I would agree. Like, I mean, there's so few 60 FPS games on the PS1. You really can count them on one hand. I think what's that? Was that fighting game that had all the flat shaded polygons and all that? Was it Tabal, I think? And that was 60 FPS, or maybe it just had a 60 FPS mode. Or Fighter's Destiny, I think, was another one. Something like that. But yeah, like there were so few of them, and there were no racing games that could do it. Like, racing games are very taxing on the system, so like, it was impressive that they pulled it off, and it showed you how much they'd figured out about the hardware. Like, R4 compared to this just is a beautiful game. Like, and this looks cool, this looks stylized, but R4 actually has some shading, actually has, you know, a look about it where you can kind of, I wouldn't say it quite looks realistic now, but it looked realistic then, you know? Had enough shading and had enough, you know, cool things going on. gets third place again. So you notice the sign girl at the beginning of the race. As Ridge Racer goes, it starts to incorporate girls a lot more, waifus if you will, where I think the most iconic one, Reiko, she appears in Rave Racer first of all, and just as a sort of background character, and then of course is the main star of R4. And I think every game after that point, they just introduce a new girl, and that's how it goes. Yeah, I was saying that earlier for sure. Like the PS1 version, while it is a downgrade, it keeps enough of the original appeal, I think, to still stand out. I think it's like playability versus graphical quality. You know, like as far as playability goes, it's close enough to the arcade that you don't necessarily mind the downgrade in graphics. I think it was 93 that Ridge Racer came out, but it could be 92. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, and like the PS4, I mean, frame rates these days are just so abysmal. And going back to even going to like the PS5, like there's a reason that console players are constantly memed on. Nobody just seems to give a shit about frame rates anymore. Yeah, the arcade cabinets do a nice steady 60, and that is cool. Although I think the PS1 version may have a couple of bonus features that you don't necessarily get to experience in the arcade version. I think it was the same with a lot of Namco games as well. Like going to like Tekken 3 is another one that comes to mind, which looked really good in the arcade, and looked I'd say slightly worse in the on the PS1, but did come with a bunch of bonus shit like that volleyball game and and the Streets of Rage clone and all that. Like that was just kind of the way you did it back then. Yeah, oh my god, on the Saturn as well. Like the responsiveness is really what it all comes down to. Like when you're tanking a game's frame rate for the sake of there being a few more textures on screen and stuff like that. The controls take a hit. That's just natural. That's just what happens. You know, you're introducing more overhead into the actual experience of playing the game, and that's pretty much a no-go for racing games. You know, if there's one thing you don't want to do, like you can have the entire game be like flat shaded polygons with no textures whatsoever, but if it plays at like a steady frame rate and feels fun, then that's all that matters. And yeah, likewise, that's why these Ridge Racer games did so well. You know, they were all simplified, but they were simplified in ways that didn't completely ruin the experience. Oh, a little drift there. Oh, jeez. This is not going to be the run, it's safe to say. Oh, another one that comes to mind, we were talking about Virtua Racing earlier from Sega, which came out in 1990, like very early 1990, just unbelievable stuff for the time. And I did play that one quite a bit as a kid. There was a cabinet still hanging around at an arcade I went to, but it was like dying a slow death. Every time I saw it, there was either like, oh, the other screen's gone, or the steering's gone, or the pedals aren't working. By that point, it had been hanging around like 8-9 years, so it had it. But like, I remember that got so many terrible ports. I think it was just last year that it got a good port finally on the Switch, which I was playing a while ago, and that actually does play it just like the real thing. But the Saturn port of it was terrible. There was a 32X port that, first of all, who the hell bought that console in the first place? Who the hell played it? But they ran at a pretty bad frame rate. It controlled okay, considering it was all digital, but like it still wasn't quite up to standards. And even like later on, I think it got a PS2 port. That even that was rubbish. Like there are certain games from this era that just never got the proper treatment they deserved, you know, as far as ports go, just because they couldn't, you know. But, well, partially because they couldn't, and partially because developers were very confused about what to do with them. Oh, he's past my tail now, I'm afraid. Okay, let's go. I might need to try a faster car. That's my gut feeling on this. But yeah, I'd say the early 3D era definitely suffered the most from that. I think there's also stuff like Cruisin' USA on the N64, which plays pretty well, but if you like compare it directly to the arcade version, it's simplified. It has just generally like it doesn't feel as tight. It doesn't feel quite the same, and but it was good enough. Like, and that's what it comes down to. Like, at least the N64 could just about pull it off, where the Saturn pretty much every time looked like it was struggling. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it comes down to. You need a team on the job that is doing more than just porting, you know? They understand the system inside and out, and that's the key to having a equivalent experience to the arcade version, I'd say. And that's kind of where Namco eventually ended up, you know. They ended up, you know, being so good on the PS1 that they were essentially making arcade quality stuff, you know, and they could do it from the ground up. But like something like that, it doesn't come overnight, and that's kind of the problem, because obviously when you're stuck with all these consoles that have literally just came out, and you don't know the specs, you don't know what it takes to push them, and you've got to push something out. Like I was talking the other day about the Radmobile port on the Saturn, and that was a very similar deal where, you know, they pushed it out, they made a couple of alterations, and it really wasn't good enough. It was already a few years old, but by that point, like, it just if it couldn't compete with an arcade game from like 5 years prior, then it wasn't making a very good showing of itself. Yeah, I think that might actually be it. I have noticed that filter before, the kind of a dot matrix thing it has. Because yeah, the frame rates were very smooth in those two. Ace Combat 3 especially is a very good PS1 game. Yeah, I think that's probably what it came down to. Just finding different ways to essentially render less shit, you know, have less overheads, just do things behind the curtain, like you said. Okay, new car time, I think. Let me see. This guy has max speed but low acceleration, and less good handling. Yeah, for sure. It's just how it goes. I think it's all about just pushing hardware to its absolute limits, and sometimes to do that you have to make little compromises. Yeah. I think the screen filter has got to be a part of it. I don't know the hardware inside and out, but I'd be very interested in finding out if anybody ever sort of decompiles these games and figures out what makes them tick. It would be a very interesting thing to find out. The surveillance camera, yeah. I'm gonna try this car. I think people were very forgiving back then as well. To have the butteriness, you know. I think with a lot of a lot of games on like the N64 and stuff, especially, looked really good in magazines, but then when you actually played them, the frame rate would be running at like 15 FPS, and you'd be, you know, and who cares, you know, because back then you were surprised enough to see, you know, moving 3D graphics and all that it didn't matter a whole lot that it wasn't buttery smooth the whole way. And likewise, you know, I think with certain genres you can get away with it, platformers you get away with it, but racing games were not as easy to get away with, and I think that's why you'd end up making a compromise like that. Like, hey, let's put this little thing on the screen here. We'll have to we'll be able to render slightly less pixels, and you know, that would be a way to get that butteriness, which was much needed for fast-paced games like this. Really? That sounds cool. I'd love to see that. Hopefully the iconic red car from this one. Also the Pac-Man car is my favourite as well, from and the Dig Dug car. There's so many of them, my god. Many great Ridge Racer cars. They are iconic for sure. Yeah, of course. They're just real-world cars that have obviously a bit of a Namco flair to them. Oh, cool. Yeah, of course. And I think by the time they got to R Racing Evolution, they were using real licenses and real. You know, they weren't necessarily worried about copyrights anymore, hence why people sort of saw that as going the simulation route. But that was a big factor, like, back in the day. I think Outrun did something similar where, you know, like, clearly, oh shit, look at this guy. Yeah, the copyright workaround thing, sort of the Outrun had the Ferraris that were blatantly Ferraris, but they changed the logo just a little bit. So you wouldn't necessarily think, you know, well, rather the license holders wouldn't necessarily think, well, that's a Ferrari. Apparently that's all it took. And likewise, you know, some of these cars are you know, they're right on that line. I just saw a Mappy car. That was pretty cool. I'm always noticing new ones. So you don't really get a good chance to look at a lot of these Ridge Racer cars because you're going so fast. Oh, it's going to be another third place. Okay, I haven't tried the last two cars yet, so I think that is the next course of action. This guy has a lot of acceleration, and this guy has a lot of max speed. So I'm going to try Mr. Acceleration, first of all. Yeah, definitely. Fictional cars are very charming. Burnout, in particular, has so much character. It's loads of fun to just smash the hell out of your car and see the slow motion replay. And I think a lot of that charm was just the stuff that went missing going into the recent gens. Where I think somewhere along the line the arcade racers kind of lost their audience, and the simulation fans were still sort of there, but they weren't necessarily getting the best stuff. I'd say Forza's always been quite good, but I thought Gran Turismo was going off the rails a bit towards the end. Like 1,000,001 customization options, but as far as overall charm goes, just feeling very flat. And I think charm is just one of those things that gets lost when all you want is realism, you know? If you can have a little fun with it, then that is automatically going to put you ahead of the pack as far as what you're presenting. Oh, come on. I mean, this guy does have a good acceleration, but you can really sense the lack of top speed when you're falling behind like that. Yep, it's all about simulation. Like, that is basically the only genre of racing left. That's cool and all, but, you know, where has this stuff gone? You know, why do I have to why do I have to dig so much to find people that actually enjoy these retro arcade style games, you know? It's really remarkable. Like, it just kind of, it was such a big deal back in the day. And it just, somewhere along the line, it just disappeared. People only wanted realism. Yeah, it's a trade-off, absolutely. And it's also like you're chasing a dragon that you can never truly get as well. Like, diminishing returns is really a factor where, you know, you're essentially, you can only make a shape so round, you know. That's why, like, PS5 graphics don't look all that different to PS4 graphics with a lot of genres, a lot of games, because, you know, how much can you actually do as far as realism goes? And, you know, on that note, you know, how much does it actually matter? Because, you know, stuff like this is always going to, it's always going to have an appeal, and it can, you know, we could be playing like nothing but VR games that have, like, you know, full 3D control. You're throwing yourself in the television screen, so to speak, and you know, people will still be coming back to this because how can you go wrong with it? It's just fun. Okay, I'm thinking this is it. I'm thinking this is our first place. Finally, yes. Yeah, for sure. I found that dirt racing was kind of it was another one that kind of survived in cars as well. I think the Colin McRae rally stuff, or just dirt as it was known later, that hung around for quite a while as well, but eventually did just kind of succumb to the fate of all of these games. They just disappeared, and, you know, gradually got less and less arcadey, and that's how it goes. But hey, that's the second stage, and I didn't have much faith in that car, to be honest. It started off quite badly. His top speed was not up to scruff at all, but, you know, it was a long-term thing. It was a slow burn, and he eventually got good. All right, cool. So I can I save my data here? I can. New file. I want to do this now. Oh, card is full. Really? Okay, hold on. I got a second. Okay. Is the card still full? Alright, save is okay. Cool, so we're gradually getting there. We're gonna get everything this game has to offer, I think. That's the goal. So at the moment we still got the same 4 cars, but after we beat the hard level, and I think there's let me see, there's the time trials as well. So basically we have to beat this one, high level, and then we need to beat the ghost car in time trials, and then we unlock the mysterious extra car. And I think the ones beside that are just the Galaxian high score, which I'll do after this. Because of my capture card issues, I wanted to make sure the game was already running. So I'll reset it and see if I can do that afterwards. But it might be a good time to try out the blue car while we're in the high level. Any more tracks left? Nope. Let's go back to number 1. But yeah, I do find there was kind of that in-between period where games were kind of that simcade style, where even though you could customize the shit out of all your cars and you could do the kind of Gran Turismo experience, the actual, you know, driving still kind of had that arcade style, the physics and all that, which is my personal favorite, at least. But oh my god, look at this guy. He's so fast, but he does not handle very well. The acceleration is pretty good. It's a little too good, in fact. Okay, yes. There we go. Oh, there we go. I wasn't I wasn't ready for that. They don't call this the high level for nothing, people. Okay, this may take a few tries. In fact, I'm willing to virtually guarantee that. But I don't know if the blue car is the car for the job. I may go back to the yellow car. And it'd be good to check out the other cars as well. So many turns in this stage that it's difficult to pick up much speed at all. Oh, that. I'm really glad I have the Namco Nedcon right now, because if I didn't, this thing would be a freaking disaster. I'm not very good on the D-pad with this game at all. The later ones I can do with the D-pad, but not this one. Yeah, I'd say the blue car, if it had an ideal track, it'd be like track 1, where you can just go mostly straight the entire time, because it does not handle the turns so well. But yes, on the the Namco gimmick controller, I think they had a few of them. In fact, there was the Nedcon and the Jogcon, I believe the other one was, which I think came out with R4. I've never actually used that one. It's another completely like baffling design. It's basically just it looks like a normal controller, but it just has a big round disc in the middle. And that one I've never used, but I'm sure when you actually use it, it makes some kind of sense when your brain adapts to it. There's that point that, you know, you're using it and you're thinking, oh my god, I've no idea what I'm doing, I can't steer. But eventually it just clicks and it starts making sense. Yeah, it was that kind of aesthetic. I don't think you'd see anything even remotely similar to it, aside from CD player remotes. And yeah, like Namco were just big on their gimmick controllers, because I think just about all the PS1 Ridge Racers predated the DualShock, you know, standard, you know, PS2, 3, 4 controller we know now. And yeah, that was just their thing, you know. There were also like, as far as gimmick controllers go, there were like fishing controllers and all sorts back in the day. There was a Denture to Go train controller. And that was a part of gaming, you know. Yeah, it does. I think that was very much their logic, because at this time there were... Oh my god, I'm completely eating shit on this one. I need to get rid of this blue car. There were steering wheels around, I think. I remember having one for the N64 way back, which was a steering wheel and pedal combination, which I like. There were barely any games to use it with. Like, in theory, you could use it with anything, but you'd want to use it with an actual racing game. And it didn't... It just adapted the basic analog control to a steering wheel, you know? It didn't have the kind of specialist setup that a Netcon has, where, and you know, there's an in-game menu for it and stuff like that. And that was kind of the issue with steering wheels back then, is that everyone was making them and there was no standard, you know? It was just adapting analog stuff to it. And, you know, the Netcon and presumably the Jogcon were just kind of the standard, you know, where you could actually have a little menu in the game that was ready for it, that you could adapt the, you know, you can change the little settings, like obviously you got here, you know, you can adapt the sensitivity. I do it about here, and max 30. You can have max 90 if you want, where that's if you want like maximum sensitivity, you know, where you want to twist the thing entirely around. You can go to 135, which I think is just insanity. I don't know why you would want to do this, but 30 is fine for me. But yeah, it was all attempts to get the experience of using a steering wheel onto a video game. And I think, going back to what I was saying earlier, when the simulators took off and people were selling actual steering wheels, actual pedals, you know, and games would adapt themselves to it, you know, probably around, you know, Gran Turismo 3, 4 era, that is where the Netcon support just stopped. It was still going until, like, I'd say early PS2, because Ridge Racer 5 does support it, and really I don't like playing Ridge Racer 5 with the D-pad at all. Like, I think it controls like garbage. But oh god, am I still in the blue car? I need to sort this out. Right, I'm gonna try a yellow car. And another one is the Wipeout games all support the Netcon as well, and they play quite well with it. They all have their own menus, although they're not technically Namco games, they still have the support there. And that was just because, for a very brief moment, the Netcon was like the steering controller, you know? Okay. Let's focus and do this. Oh, this guy doesn't drift very easily. He goes pretty fast, but you have to really slam on the brakes. I mean, drifting in this game is temperamental, to say the least. Oh, well, as you can see right there. I was driving up the wall right there. Yeah, we put our trust in the yellow car. Because the yellow car has done it for us before, he can do it again. Yeah. I may go back to the default car on this if I don't do so well on this one. Because default car does have good handling, although it doesn't have the best speed. The narrator is just showering me with compliments, but I don't think I'm worth a single one right now. As I spin out into my own death. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think yellow car is going to be it for this one. I'll tell you what, I am holding on to 10th place pretty well. I found that when doing this track. I don't know what's wrong with the last two guys. Presumably they never left the start line. Because I've never seen them. No matter how much I fuck up, I never see them. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, man. If you've got if the other car was bad for steering, this guy's just as bad. What I'm curious about is if I can, because obviously there are other cars that you can unlock from beating Galaxian, which I want to do, of course. But what I'm curious about is because obviously those who've been watching my past few streams knows that my capture card is complete garbage, and it likes to freak out whenever I turn off a console or turn on a console. The banana car, yes. Anytime I need to confirm something, I'll just drive the banana car and you'll all know. Okay, we're coming back. We're coming back. Oh, jeez, and we're okay. The banana car is slowly redeeming himself. Oh no, no. Well, until he hit that corner, he was doing okay. Drifting in this thing is just a bad idea. The banana car compared to the blue car, I'd say the blue car actually handles a little better, but the blue car goes really fast. So, like, I think with enough practice you can probably master the blue car. But the yellow car is so stiff. The sensitivity, like, even though I've set my Nedcon to be pretty sensitive, it just isn't there with this guy. I'm always clipping the corners and stuff. Oh, this looks good. I drifted a bit too late. a little delay there. Yes. In this case, the banana has been confirmed shit. The banana has been confirmed yab, if you will. Oh my god, every time I try and do a drift. Yeah, I mean, that is why it's a high level. And this game, like, it has decent draw distance for the time, but it's not like, it's not quite good enough to cover a track like this. But I think if I try another car, we can get there. So I'm going to try a default car. We're going to see how we can do. Oh, I mean, that might be worth trying as well. He's okay. I don't mind red and green car, but default car might be the one, because what I need for high level is steering. I need handling, and I'm not really getting it right now. Back to basics. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is the default car. This is the car that they anticipate you picking. Another nice stall. I tried to go up gears a little too quickly there. But I can catch up to these guys. I'm going to do it. You know it's a bad stall when 11th place and 12th place, or rather 11th place and 10th place actually get in front of you. That didn't happen at all before. Ah. Okay, there we go. Drifting works a bit better on this one. And yeah, as I was saying, like, drifting in this does not feel as intuitive as it does in later games. Because, you know, even with the Nedcon, it just, it's kind of, I think it's kind of on rails, you know, where a drift will send you down a certain path, pretty much guaranteed every time. You know, it's kind of a set animation, if you will, and how much you wiggle around the controls don't really make a whole lot of difference, at least compared to later games. There we go. That was a nice drift. See, it can be done. This is handling this track a lot better, but again, it's like I don't really have the speed for these guys. The last stretch? Oh my god. That went by quick. Ugh. Now, unfortunately, the Nedcon doesn't have any vibration or anything like that. But I can I can feel the difficulty in controlling it. I can feel the friction in my own body. Oh my god. I'm very curious if the red... yeah, I would say so. It's, oh my god. Yeah, this car ain't gonna do it. At least the finish line's right there. But yeah, very, very high friction vehicle, this one. Oh my god. How many more corners can I hit? I say this one's definitely got more friction than the others. The others feel very loose. This one feels tense, I suppose, and a bit stiffer. But it's good for these corners, but it's not necessarily what you want as far as overall speed goes. Because yeah, compared to my previous runs of this track, this hasn't. I haven't got as high as far as the overall ranking goes. Oh, that's when you try and turn a little too early, evidently. Okay, this is the last stretch, according to the narrator, so we're going to try red and green car, and if that fails, well, I'm going to play Galaxian for a while. At least if my my whole shit doesn't break down at that exact moment after I reset the console. There we go, we're going to recover a little bit perhaps. On these bits here, it's probably best to not drift, bizarrely enough. And that time I tried not to drift, but I drifted anyway. And yeah, this is part of the high level of this track, is that it goes on for absolutely forever. This engine does sound like it's absolutely suffering. I'm not finding the opportunities to go up a gear because there's so many turns. Oh, look at all these guys grouped together. This might be a good chance. Oh, come on. Whack that guy. So much for that. I do love every time you whack somebody, it's the exact same animation every single time. Okay. Surely the end is near, right? According to the narrator, it is anyway. Okay, there it is. There's the finish line. Okay. 9th place. Now that is something to be proud of. I still haven't gotten on that fucking leaderboard. Just a very poor showing from myself. So, red and green. I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work out, I'm gonna look at the other cars, because surely one of them has got to be good for this. Yeah, the banana should have given it away. The banana mobile. We are experiencing the curse of the 25th right now. It should be renamed Banana Day from this point on. Yep, it does. That's a bit where if you try and do a little drifter... Oops. If you try and do a little drifter there, you're just going to whack something and it's just going to send you into a tailspin. Okay, let's try and keep up with these guys this time as best we can. Hey, is that the bot is back? Oh my god. Cannot believe it. Am I really worth a second visit? This guy. We're cursed. It's confirmed. I should have known better than the stream on the 25th. What the fuck was I thinking? Okay. Now is the time that we gain on these guys. On these fools. Yeah, I think we got a new regular, thankfully. And he's just trying to help, you know? I need to become famous from crashing my car in every game. But apparently he has the scoop on how to actually do it. But I'm not going to click that link because my computer will probably contract something horrible. We're not far away from the pack this time round, but we're also not really passing them. Oh my god, stop go- That's the problem with manual transmission, I was not moving at all. I went for a real spin there. Okay. I think it's Galaxian time after this, boys. Oh, I think I'm certainly 2 for 2 on stalls so far. I stalled yesterday multiple times. And I've stalled today multiple times. So what good would a VTuber that focuses on driving games be if he didn't show you the proper way to stall? And you are getting that. You are getting a 101 in stalling. Just generally crashing and coming in 9th place. The whole gauntlet. Oh my god. Okay. I'm trying to enter into my focused mode here, but we're still clipping the corners. This is definitely a credit muncher. I can imagine people blew a lot of money on this particular course. Oh, I think I'm going to run out of time. Oh, look at it, it's right there, but we're not going to make it. Okay, so this car, this ain't it. I'm going to save one more time, just to make sure I don't lose all my progress. I'll do it next time. See? He's right, he's right. Well, I'm glad he has confidence in me. Okay, so let's do the save one more time. And I'm going to hit the reset button on my PS1. And what I'm hoping is that the entire thing won't shit itself, because that has happened. Yeah, I mean, that is a big part of it. They were designing this thing specifically to make sure that you put a lot of money into the machine, because that is the bread and butter of an arcade game. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Seriously? It would be so easy if you could just plop like an R4 car in here, or a Ridge Racer 5 car, and just like have that handling, have the physics, especially. Like seriously, it would be an absolute breeze. But it's just not to be. So this is me. I'm gonna hit reset right now, and I hope that the stream will stay going. But if it doesn't, I will be back momentarily. But at least I'll be able to play a nice arcade classic. Another one. Oh. We're still live. You can hear this lovely noise. Ah, you gotta love it. Okay, so it should be right here. Okay, this is the true Ridge Racer experience right here. I gotta beat this shit. Oh, come back, come back! Ah, you gotta do it in one. They don't even come back. Alright, so I think it loops if I remember right. I could reset the console over and over, but that would be maybe a bit overkill. A black screen? Is it coming back? Oh boy. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to reset over and over. That works for me. Get your fill of vroom. I crack open another beer in the meantime. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's do it in one, do it in one. Get him, get him. Pink guy, yellow. No, come back. Let's go again. We're entering into true scuff territory here. Galaxian over and over and over. If it was going by arcade rules, I could probably do it a bit easier, but you do unfortunately only get one. They don't fly around the stage as they do in the real arcade game. I wonder if it's possible to make it easier. Probably not. I'll probably set myself a limit on this. I won't go literally all night. But I'll try a few more times. I wonder if there's like a cheat code or something where I can at least get into Galaxian. Okay. Good, good, good. Get him. And him. Ah. One more go. Doesn't work out this time. I guess I'll try the red car. Or maybe the red and green. No, two guys left. What a nightmare. Okay. Could maybe try automatic. Just at the very least it'd make me able to handle the turns a little easier. Not proud of it. If it was a later game I wouldn't do it. But I've got to beat the stage. Of course I gotta change my controls again. Alright, here we go. The unfortunate thing about this, and because it's an early PS1 game, is the memory card doesn't save everything. It only saves, I guess, the times and stuff like that. It does not save the controls exactly. Yes, so anyway, it's this one, and free, max 30's fine. Yep. Oh. What was I doing? Accelerate and brake. Yes, that's it. Okay, so I'm trying this one on automatic, and if I can't do it this way, then I probably can't do it ever. But I can. I did do it back in the day when I was a kid, but as I mentioned in another stream, when you're a kid you have better reflexes than when you're an adult. Unless you work in some field where your reflexes stay tight all the time, But yes, in racing games I was a lot better before. Okay. So we're just cruising along this time. All I need to worry about is the brakes. Oh shit, and hitting that, obviously. But yeah, what a classic. I do still like this game a lot. And again, like the graphics, like although they're simplistic, certainly the car models are. The stages and all that have have such a nice color palette to them. The auto, it feels okay. I guess it still goes a bit faster. Like if it was my personal preference, I probably wouldn't be hitting these corners at quite the speed the auto takes you down them. But what choice do you have? You know, all you can do is hold off the accelerator and hope for the best. In that case, I just span out. But yeah, I'd say auto is easier as a general rule. But like the Ridge Racers that I play the best at, I always play manual. So it really is like one of those things where I feel like I have less control. But in terms of, you know, this kind of snaky setup, it is one less thing to worry about, you know, going up and down the gears, that is. Because I stalled so many times, as you saw. And this kind of eliminates the concept of you stalling on the middle of the track. You can still hit walls, but, you know, it'll be slightly less embarrassing than coming to a complete stop. Anyway, let's make some progress here. Oh, come on, dude. Out of the way. And yeah, again, certain roads like that one I just passed, it's not worth drifting on. And I don't even know if it was worth it there. Maybe. But in auto, especially, you get such a speed penalty for doing a drift. You saw I went down to 3 there, and if I was doing a drift in manual, that wouldn't necessarily be an issue because you can kind of time the drift with going up and down the gears. And stay and maintain your speed a little better. But as you can see there, like actually handling these corners is a lot easier. Still not going to be the winning one, but I might be able to do this. Oh jeez, just trying to straighten up here, but it's such a challenge. So, after I finish suffering in Ridge Racer, I will outline my schedule for next week, which will be the same days, the same times, that kind of thing. And I'll be playing a few more classics and a few more arcadey games that hopefully I'll be a little better at than this. I'm not necessarily bad at this, I don't know. I feel like it's just a hard stage. Like, what can you do? Oh, dude, can you get out of my way, please? Alright, we're in first. That's pretty good. This is progress. Oh, just stop clipping the corners, I'm begging you. And like you get the field of view issue there as well, where the camera isn't quite zoomed out enough for you to see what's coming, so you just end up hitting something. Yeah, I'm feeling good so far. I'm feeling good about the progression in general. Ah. Don't rob me of 3rd place. Don't rob me of 4th place. Oh, well, I was feeling good. I think this car is the one, but this probably isn't the run. See, he can turn very well when he wants to. Okay, come on, let me have 4th. Ah. Okay. I can feel it coming. We are going to get first. It's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat Galaxian. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see all of the extra cars, but I'm going to see this car. So, let's see, what else can we have? Let's have Rotterdam Nation. A little bit of a stall there. A little bit. It's no problem. Okay. Gotta focus as best I can. Ah, I'm just trying to straighten up here. The good thing about this track is that it's so long. Like, it's the good and bad thing, but the good part of that is that you can recover. You do have plenty of opportunity to still make a difference in what position you're in. But yeah, we're not there yet. Still hanging around at our favourite, 10th place. And it's time to catch up to these dweebs. I don't know if that was worth a drift necessarily. I think, alright, stay on the straight and narrow here. Oh boy. This definitely feels like final boss music, you know? At least in terms of this game. Just absolute mayhem. Okay, here's the checkpoint. There's still time. Oh, well, not if we do that. Okay, 7th place. Not bad. Let's take it easy on the drifts. Let's just stay on the inside here and do the best we can. Alright, alright. Oh, jeez, almost drove onto the beach. Okay, we haven't lost too much speed. We can still make it, I think. Oh, well. We could have. Oh, here he comes. Mr. Namco. He's the one I left behind. Mr. Default. And there in front of us is the banana car. Losing to default is probably the utmost humiliation as far as Ridge Racer goes. He's like the the bowl of porridge that's just right, but he's definitely an inferior car to me. I should not be losing to him. Okay, we're getting there. Alright. Get in front of him. Do some turning. Okay. Get in front of Mr. Banana. Oh, jeez. Don't hit him. Okay, okay. Alright, here we go, in the tunnel. Do the turn, nice and wide. Yep, cool, cool. What the fuck? I don't know if that was fair. I was on the side of him and I ended up throwing him forward. But, you know, 1995 physics, what can you do? It's 1995. Oh, come on. We're close. We're so close to finishing this, but this ain't it yet. I think it's going to be a 4th place. Looks like it. Confirmed. Okay, this time, surely we can do it. It's just a matter of getting in front of like 3 more people. Let's see. I think it's good to stay on automatic for this. As I said, one less thing to think about. The car is. I think there's probably better cars. I'm sure the unlockable ones are better, but for now, we'll stick with red and green. I'm not going back to default. Didn't feel him. I'm not going to the blue car, and I'm certainly not going to the banana car. So let's try and get a boost here, not stall. Yeah, I would say the handling on this one is just about ideal for this track, although it's still a tricky track. Okay, let's see if we can get in front of a bunch of these guys early. Okay, cool. I mean, he is warning me about the next corner. Oh, me hitting the brakes didn't quite register there. Well, there's time for yabs so far, but we need to get serious because it's a long track. We can afford to fuck up at this point, but not later. Okay, okay. Keep it going, keep it going. Let's not fall behind too much here. Oh, it's so easy to clip that. Alright, alright. Oh man, we're losing our place. But there's still time. I do love all the samples in the techno side of the soundtrack. They're very recognisable. I think I know one of them from I think it's the replay track has a bunch of samples from a Kraftwerk song, and this Pump This Party bit I've heard in like every fucking rhythm game. Little drift, please. Alright, that's okay. Come on. Right. Goodbye, Mr. Dig Dug. Okay. I find with this one the drifts just come a bit too late. It's not quite an issue of control. I think it's just the car itself registers it a little late, just due to the braking power and all that. And I wind up like doing a turn perfectly and then drifting for no reason directly afterwards, which is not what you want. Oh boy. So this is the last stretch, according to the narrator, once again. But yes, I'm going to persevere here because I cannot consider this a Ridge Racer playthrough if I do not finish this track, because it's part of the game, it's part of the experience. And we got to finish first. But thank you for sticking with me, you guys. It's great to have you here. And I hope you've enjoyed my first 3 streams. It's been a real interesting and fun experience. With plenty of me crashing and plenty of me just crashing into walls, clipping corners, and just being a complete public liability on the road. And we're going to do it all again next week. Okay, here we go. 4th place. We're gonna... come on, get in front of this guy. Let's do it, let's do it. No, I don't have time for you, Mr. Banana Car. Oh, jeez. We had a good opportunity there for a second, but I think it's passed. I think the key to this stage is getting a good lead early, which I was doing for a little while. But if you can just do that, and you only have to worry about, say, the first 3 guys being behind you instead of the entire race, the entire like lineup of guys, then you have less to worry about. But yes, I'm going to try this one more time. Hell, probably a few more times. Who am I kidding? we're gonna do this shit. But let's have another music track. Do rhythm shift. Yeah.
3, 2, 1,
Come on, come on. There we go. Not bad, not bad. But yes, I was talking earlier about the use of sign girls and stuff like that in Ridge Racer, and mascot girls, essentially, like idols, essentially. And this one doesn't really have any. It has kind of a nameless girl holding a sign up there. But as the Ridge Racer games go on, like you get, it becomes like a core part of the experience, bizarrely, where I think Reiko is the girl from Type 4, who is my personal favourite because like the opening FMV is just superb. Has such a vibe to it. And another good one, I was talking about the game earlier, is the girl from R Racing Evolution, which is Reina, I believe. And I've played a bit of it. I'm saving a full story mode playthrough for the stream, in fact, because I think that could be quite entertaining. But from what I've played of the story mode, she has an interesting story where she's essentially like she's a paramedic, and she becomes a race car driver by proxy of how fast she drives going to emergencies. Like, so I guess some agent or something is just hanging out on the side, and he sees her, and he's like, "Oh my god, she's such a racer," and picks her up for a few competitions, and away we go. And I quite like the idea of a Ridge Racer girl having like a day job, very relatable. She's not exactly an idol. She's just an average everyday girl who happens to be very good at driving really fast. And yeah, it's an interesting aspect that Ridge Racer sort of had, where the other titles of the time didn't, where it had that Japanese flavour, where something like that would only really be an idea in Japan. Like, let's have a girl for every game. I mean, like Cruis'n USA has girls, who hold the signs and all that, but they don't necessarily have the whole game built around them. And obviously, like Type 4 also has girls in the story mode and stuff like that. One of your people that you can partner with is the French lady, I believe, who you can. It's sort of implied that you start dating her after you beat the story. So it's very interesting to see that kind of thing in a racing game. Very Namco flavour for sure. Oh boy, we're doing all right for a moment. We've still got a little bit of time, and they are kind of clumped together, so there might still be an opportunity to save this. I'm going to try my best here. Okay, you can see like the handling of the green car. The big problem with it is that he turns so wide that you just end up clipping walls so often. But you can get used to it to a certain extent. Yeah, I've gotten a bit more used to it now. Okay, so third, second. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no! If I could have done that smoothly, that could have been it. All right, we're still in it. We're still in it. Just stop swerving. Do the jump. Yep. Come on. Let's get to the right of this guy. Oh, no, 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 don't do that. Oh, no! Fuck! Oh, that was almost it. That was almost it. Yep. This is so annoying. I've got like a death grip on third place now, but I just can't seem to get to second. They don't call this high level for nothing, as I said. Oh, are we gonna finish in second? Oh, it's a new record. It really is. Like, I'm getting there. I have made progress here. Okay. Next time, it's first place. For sure. I think that's all the tracks, so I guess we'll go back to Ridge Racer. This is kind of lacking in music tracks compared to the later games, for sure. R4 has so many, and 5 has so many, and the PSP games, like they had like DLC as well, I think, where you could actually download the soundtracks from the originals from this game, from Revolution, that kind of thing, and use them. So you could end up with so much music, and I think at least one of them you could just play music from the memory card as well. So if you're spoiled like me, then this 6 tracks won't look very much. Okay, but here we go. Let's look at getting first place legit this time. No time for stalling. We get to listen to the classic default track. Come on, come on, come on. Little drift, a little drift. Yep, no need to... Oh my god, no need to do that. Come on. The iconic 20-second drift from Mr. Red and Green. Oh, for the love of God. Okay, there's still time to save this, of course, because it's a long track. Mr. Banana Car wiped out there, but didn't lose much speed because it's the computer. Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. It is the last stretch, apparently. He says that way too early, I think. I'm noticing it now. Like, the last stretch is quite a bit away. Yeah, 2 laps. Like, it's the last stretch of the first lap. Like, come on, guy. What are you talking about? Alright, alright, alright. Alright, alright. Alright, nicely done. Hey, he even gave me a compliment. That's good. I really don't have time to teach the narrator, it must be said. This has already ran pretty long. Okay. Doing good, doing good. Little drift, not a big drift. Alright, that's okay, that's okay. And another compliment from the narrator. Senpai has noticed me. Oh, jeez. Sorry I'm not as talkative as usual. I'm trying to focus my key, if you will, and get first place because I have been working towards it. Okay, no. Oh, please stabilize. I wish this had some upgrades like Call of Duty yesterday. I would be installing a stability upgrade, if so. This thing is so fucking unstable. The drifts, man. The drifts. Okay, come on. Yep. Get that normal. Nice and straight. Alright, 4th place. That's cool. 4th place, and I can see 2 more. That's what I want to see. I'm going to take it wide here. No, don't hit the wall. Come on. Mr. Blue and Mr. Yellow. Okay. Still got a bit of time. Oh my god. Come on, dude. Please stop hitting the wall. Oh man. Oh man, that did not compare with my 2nd place before. Oh well, no worries. Okay. For real this time. I think it's gotta be the same car. Feel like that girl holding up advanced is like a word of warning, really. It's like as if it isn't obvious enough that this is for the advanced player. Okay, I'm gonna need you to get out of my way, sir. As you can see there, the problem with this being such an early game from 1993 is that you can whack somebody on the side and it'll be like you whacked them behind, and that will just completely fuck with you because they'll go flying in front of you. If the physics were a little more realistic, I mean realistic in terms of arcade racer standards anyway, then it'll be a little easier to handle. Oh, that drift was almost okay, but it just shat itself at the very end. But yeah, what a game for 1993. Like, it really is nothing quite like it. And even though I'm suffering, I am having fun. Even though I'm eating shit from the computer, it is still a pleasure. Okay, well, they are kind of grouped together here, so an opportunity that has presented itself. I just need to be stable for a moment. AK, not do that. Drifting is just such a nightmare. Every time I attempt it, I just go flying into a wall. That's how it goes. You drift relatively easy on the first track, but you get such a little window with the turns in this one and all that. What is going on with the physics here, dude? That guy, the banana car, it's the cursed car. Like, of course he's the nightmare. Of course he's the guy that's the fucking bane of my existence. What did I think? You know, it's the 25th. Okay, come on. Ahead. Oh, jeez. Default does have the most handling, I would say, but it doesn't have very good speed. And in this track, the computer is very fast, so that's kind of like if for instance in the green and red car I see a group of guys that I can kind of gain on and get in front of, I actually have a chance. But with the red car, like I'm going a bit too slow, and I think that's kind of by design. You know, by the time you get to the advanced stage, I think Namco want you to, you know, be experimenting with other cars, and they'll want you to be using a different car that's a little harder to control. You know, that but has higher top speed and all that. And yeah, I could certainly try the default car again, but yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. I think if I fail this one, I'll try default, because it really can't hurt at this point. And the drift. What? I drifted the wrong way. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. We didn't lose much speed. Okay, I can see 3 cars. So stay wide for a little bit and then turn. Ugh, for fuck's sake, every time. Alright, we're still in it. Okay, in front of pink car. Yep. Okay, okay. Okay. Turn. Oh no, 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 no. Well, I almost had something for a fraction of a second. No music anymore, Mr. PlayStation? My PS1 has been, like a lot of us, has reached breaking point. Okay, I'm going to try default. Now see how I do with the red car. And that's I think that's every car after that point. Attempted at high level, that is. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, like immediately it's apparent that the red car is a little on the slower side, but it does handle quite well. I mean, it should. It is the default car, but yeah. Okay, okay. Drift was okay. Drift was okay. Let's hope that this is the one. Okay. Alright, alright. Thank you, Mr. Narrator. Dude, that helicopter was so low. This thing had realistic physics that would have definitely collided. I love the old style game was just the idea of racing games in particular was the idea of, oh, how many fucking props can we shove in this stage? Let's have a helicopter here. Why? Why the fuck not? Often saw Ferris wheels and stuff like that as well. Just anything that could be animated and look nice. Okay. See if I can get a grip on 6th place here. Get in front of Mr. Banana. Oh, jeez, every time. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Here's 5th place. Oh, come on, come on. Banana is just too fast. Okay, okay. Man, Namco was unforgiving back in the day, huh? As I said, credit munchers, man. Fuck's sake. I'm pretty sure I beat the actual cabinet version of this as a kid. But fuck, I can't fathom doing it now. Well, I'm gonna do it, like, clearly. I say clearly, maybe not clearly. But I'm gonna do it before the stream is over. But man, I just don't know. This shit's hard. Come on, come on, come on. Get in front, get in front. That's not the finish line, is it? Just a checkpoint, I think. Okay, we're good, we're good. Oh, even the ground, even like the little bit of soil there is so sensitive. It seems to be flying backwards. Okay. Ah. One drift too many there. A common story. Imagine this is actually the last stretch at this point. Okay. Yep. Oh, look at them. They're all right there, clumped in front of me. Ah, Jesus. If only I had a bit more racetrack. Could have done it. Ah, okay. It's gotta be default. It's gotta be. I'll have to have a go at the time trial as well at some point. You can apparently go at higher max speed, so that's cool. But it's the same stage, so my time will not be very good. Safe to say. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, exactly. It's the same corner every time. I am anticipating it, but the the little twist that I give the Negcon just doesn't seem to be quite enough to get out of harm's way. Okay, okay, come on, get out of the way. Little drift here. Ah, no. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Nice. Okay. Holy shit, that went well. That's a fucking first. That's a cheat path, really? Whereabouts? What? On the corner? Alright, alright. Okay. Alright, we're going well, we're going well. The grayed out path. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Slammed into Dig Dug there. But I guess it wasn't a big deal. Okay. 5th place. Let's keep going, keep the speed up. Could be fake. I mean, I could just slam into a wall. Feel like I'm obliged to try and beat this legitimately at this point. Even if there is a cheat path. We got so close after all. Okay, didn't get caught that time. That's good. Progress is being made. Oh shit. Okay. Stay in front of Mr. Banana. Got no time for that. Come on. Don't fall behind. Look at all these guys. All appearing at once. Bananas. I'm gonna be seeing this car in my fucking nightmares, dude. You know, people dream about, you know, car accidents and all that. It's gonna be a fucking banana yellow car every time for me from this point onwards. I've always had this one recurring dream where I'm like just fucking around, like trying to like get something in the back seat, and by some miracle I accidentally activate the car, like, and start rolling down a hill. Like I've heard that one happens with quite a few people. Even though, like, logistically that makes no fucking sense, but you know, well, it's a nightmare, so why not? It's like we have teeth falling out, you know. But yes, it's going to be replaced by this banana car now. Oh, jeez. We're still in checkpoint territory. The finish line is not here yet. Come on, drift, drift. Drift again. No. Bum 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 bum. There's the finish line. Can I make third? Nope. Fourth again. Oh boy. This reminds me of when you like watch people play something like the fucking Undertale final boss. And they just go over and over and over and over. And this is gonna be one of those streams, I guess. I'm just gonna have to achieve the ultimate focus that it takes to to beat the fucking banana car. I'm doing better at getting ahead quicker early on now, but I'm not really. I'm not really. I'm still hitting the wall a fair amount, and the banana is still getting in front of me at every fucking turn. Okay. I wish I could just like send him spiraling into a ditch, and he just wouldn't be a factor in the race anymore. But unfortunately. We don't work with that kind of logic here. Yeah, if it was burnout, that would be an option. Okay. Let's get in front of him. Little drift, please. Oh, jeez, it's so late. Okay. The real blessings in this kind of stage are these straight and narrow bits. If you don't completely fuck them up anyway, where you can actually pull in front of somebody. Although, like, I do notice on high level, people block you so fucking much. Like, Ah, it's such a nightmare. So even when you're on a straight bit, you still have to contend with, you know, hitting somebody and then just throwing them ahead of you because you whacked into their backside. And even if you whack into their side, you still throw them ahead of you. So you really just have to not whack into them at all. I hope when he says the last stretch, he doesn't mean the actual last stretch, because I still need to cover quite a bit here. Okay, still another checkpoint. Alright. Let's try and make some progress here and not clip on everything. Okay, good, good. Ah, come on. In front of blue, just yellow, and one more guy. Oh, stop drifting, please. Okay. Yellow is still in our sights. It's still possible. Ah, God almighty. There he goes. Yep, it really is. There is rubber banding out the arse happening right now. Oh, he's just flown ahead. Okay, okay. Still see him. Unfortunately, this time it actually is the last stretch, and it looks like it's going to be a third place. I mean, we are going up from fourth place. It's something. But these cars are just such assholes, man. You've never seen anything like the last fucking stage on this. Every time you have a slight chance of an advantage, they just block you. And then if they're not blocking you, they'll whack into you, and that will essentially mean the same thing as hitting them from behind. So, fuck it. Okay. Here we go, once more. Just us and the default car. And I've got that little Galaxian screen there taunting me. Other cars could be mine, but alas, I cannot beat the first round of Galaxian fast enough. Come on, there we go, there we go. Yeah, so far this is definitely a longer stream than I've normally done, and I think I will generally, I think as a general rule, streams won't go over the 2-hour mark usually, but in this case, this thing, I've got to finish it. Like, this is the goal I set myself, and if I don't do it, then what the fuck is the point? Oh my god, last night was a lot of wandering around as well. At least this time I have my goal in sight, although it's usually got a fucking yellow banana car directly in front of it. VTubers do have crazy endurance though. Like, you see like Corone doing fucking 8-hour streams of Sonic and stuff like that. And the Crazy Taxi one was pretty long as well. Like, it's a skill we got to learn, I think. I'm sort of coming to terms with the fact that I really can just sit on here and play one stage over and over again. And call it entertainment, allegedly. But, you know, I think that's I can't say like as a viewer that I haven't just sat there and watched, you know, like Pikami for instance fight Sans for like 8 fucking hours and just watch the whole thing because, you know, you want to root for somebody, you know. You watch them fail over and over and over again and you still watch. And that's kind of a hard thing to get to grips with, you know. So like certainly when this is over I'm going to make highlight packages of all my free streams so far and post them on a YouTube somewhere and have that kind of have, I guess, the good parts and that will hopefully be a better representation of the Ridge Racer experience, which is not typically sitting down for this amount of time. I hope. For me, generally, I just play for like an hour or so and then do something else. But this really challenges you to be more of an actual gamer, you know. Which I was when I was younger, and I could like just ace something from pure fucking perseverance. And you know, I think streaming kind of challenges you to do that as well, where you know you want to represent a game as best you can, and the way to do that is to actually show everything it has to offer, and show likewise in this case what rewards you get for being really good at it. Okay, let's get 3rd place. Oh, please, come on, Mr. Banana Car, for the love of God. I almost had an opening there. You saw me try to take it, but alas, not to be on this occasion. I saw the blue car as well. He's not far. It's always yellow and blue. Occasionally I see pink as well. Oh jeez. Guy's gaining on me now. And here is the finish line. Unfortunately, I've gone down a rank. A couple of ranks, in fact. Okay. I'm going to set myself a limit here. Since it's 5th place, I will try 5 more times. And then, I guess we'll just do something else. I want to play other Ridge Racer games in future that I'm better at. And I think maybe I'll have... yeah, my best was 3rd so far, absolutely. And I'll play other Ridge Racer games in future, and I'll revisit this particular stage, maybe with some other cars, and beat it properly. But in terms of this stream, I'm going to try 5 more times, and if I can't do it in 5 more times, then fuck it. On to next week. I think it's good to put a little bit of pressure on myself as well. It's kind of like the, I suppose credits is like, going back to playing arcade games and all that, part of getting good at games, I think, in the 90s was that you were limited by how much money you had, and so you had an inclination to actually get good, as it were. And yeah, that's a driving force that doesn't really exist anymore, and that's kind of a missing part of not just racing games but games in general. Like, part of how people got good reflexes was playing arcade games that required you to have them because, you know, there was a finite amount of money. Or at least for most people, certainly for me. And yeah, this definitely encourages you to get good, to say the fucking least. If I can't make first place, maybe at least I can get second and make a new best. Maybe the narrator will congratulate me as he has before. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Gotta leave Mr. Banana in the dust here. Oh, he's so fast. The voice going, oh no, definitely represents how I'm feeling with every time I fall behind this yellow idiot. So again, very good soundtrack, very fitting. Okay, get in front of Dig Dug. Okay, we're in front of Mr. Yellow briefly. Okay, okay, don't crash, don't crash. Yeah, I know, I know. Don't need to tell me. Come on, come on. Alright. Sure they are. Okay, not bad, not bad. No, don't hit it, don't hit it. Okay. Tunnel coming up. Please, show me some dudes. Ah, come on. There must be somebody out there. Where are these number 2 and number 1? Drift here. Yep, there's blue. Okay, no, 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 no. Ah, fuck. It's coming out of drifts, man. We were ahead of yellow for a brief moment in time. Okay, yellow and blue are bunched together. Okay, 4th place again. That was attempt number 1. Here is attempt number 2. Well, obviously, it was not attempt number 1. I fucking shudder to think what attempt it actually was. I don't know how long we've been going. Oh, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. I'm tempted to look at the options again, but I think it's got to be red car. I mean, 3rd is like as high as I got, and it was in the red car. So... let's loop the soundtrack. Oh no, one more. Okay. Okay, attempt 2 of 5.
3, 2, 1, go! Wow, what a start! This is just what I wanted to see.
Did I get second in green? On this course? I might have. I'm not too sure. I'd have to go back and look. I might revisit green. I'm tempted. I have been playing this thing enough times now. Maybe I'll know enough about the course to handle green a little better. But no, thank you for bringing that up. I think you might be right. Okay, so... Well, since we got 5 attempts, let's do one more red here. And then next one I'll do green. Maybe I'll do green a couple times. And it's got to be red or green, right? I mean, it's not going to be fucking blue. It's not going to be yellow. I never did well in those. Okay. 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 Stop drifting. Bit of a car wreck here. Bit of a pile up. I wonder if I'd be less likely to get stuck in drift loops on the green. Certainly happening to me on the red. Something the future Ridge Racer games definitely have over this one is that when you pick your car, you have more of a sense of what you're actually going to get. This one does have a graph, which is quite useful, I suppose, but like it's not quite as good as having like certain makes that are known for, you know, you have your makes known for speed, your makes known for handling, and you kind of have your whole sections just off of, you know, so if you're more of a handling guy, you can just have a variety of cars to choose from. And this, everything is kind of wildly different, you know. The blue and yellow are just so over the top in terms of their stats that I just couldn't do much with them. But red and green are quite, they're quite middle ground. Red more so, definitely. But green has given me a few advantages before. Oh, geez, stop. It's so difficult to get out of loops in this game, it really is. You think that you're stabilizing and the game will register, but instead you just go the other direction. And my Netcon does not have like max sensitivity, so maybe that's why, but once you do like activate the full sensitivity of it, you don't really turn very easily, so that's kind of its own problem. So it's kind of like you have to pick your poison. At least in this game. You can get it pretty much perfect on R4, but you know, that was a much later game. Okay. Ah, I was hoping to cut in there, but the curb had other ideas. That moment after you've been stuck in the loop where it just fucking shits you there in like going so slow, it's just terrible. Okay, ah. Every time I think I've done a maneuver, okay, I hit a wall. Even when you think the maneuver's over, turns out it's not. Well, this is attempt 2 of 5, and I'm going to try the green car after this. I'm going back to green. I think I won one of my previous races on the green, so I started this one on the green, and I eventually went back to red, but I'm going to go back to green. At least I think I did. I can't imagine I started on blue or yellow. Anyway, my ranking is once again going down, so that is a perfect opportunity to look at changing cars. And we're back to Ridge Racer. The soundtrack is looping. I'm trying to wake my hand up a bit. I've been pulling the triggers on this Netcon for so long now. Okay. So the green car picks up top speed after a while very well, but the handling is a lot more loose. So this is good for those moments where I need to overtake people, but it's not so good for the sneaky bits, basically. I've got to just try and drift as much as possible, I think. As long as it can maintain some kind of fucking speed. But hey, we'll try it. So this is attempt 3 of 5. Okay, nice. So, yeah, turning does work. You just don't want to drift too much, because, yeah, that happens. Okay. There are the cars. I notice it's become nighttime now. I don't know how the game decides to do that, but it's pretty cool. It does feel like we've been here all day. Okay, good, cool. I like the rare moment that a drift actually works. Okay, cool. You know, I think green's a little better. I'll say it. It still has its problems, like it's a little too sensitive, but I'll take it. But then again, yeah, you get moments like that. If you spin out in a drift, like, and you lose speed, I mean, you suffer a lot more than you do on red. But green, like, it's got good sensitivity, and that is needed here. But sometimes, like, it's just not enough. No, that gate. Man. Okay, past blue, past pink. Please pass pink. Drift. Nice. No. Okay, no. Ah, there he is. Keep up the speed. Keep it up. Oh, for fuck's sake. When you crash and burn in green, you crash and burn, it must be said. Good lord. There's still a moment of time. I could do this. Okay, yep, nice. This snaky bit, man. Looks like I'm going to match my previous best. Maybe not my all-time best, just second. That was attempt 3 of 5. 2 more goes, and it's time for something else, i.e. bedtime. I'll keep it on Ridge Racer, why not?
3, 2, 1, go!
Let's go, let's go. Jeez. Yeah, it gives me pretty much a different time of day every time, as I notice now. We've got the evening here, the sort of sunset deal, and last time it was night. Sometimes you get daytime, so all pretty cool. Just randomized. Oh, that was almost okay. And then it wasn't. I have noticed looking online that a lot of people do struggle with the drifting in this game in particular, compared to the other games. I looked up a couple of things, and there are some posts on game FAQs and, you know, all kind of places. Just like, I recently revisited this game and I have no idea how to play. Any help? And I can relate to those people right now. So I think when you're there in 1995 playing this, you don't necessarily go into it with the modern drift idea in your head, you know. This probably felt pretty intuitive at the time, especially with the controller, but you know, going back to it when other Ridge Racers have done drifting so much better, you know, it's a challenge, you know. And not wiping out at the end of a drift is a tricky part, and trying to maintain some control over it. Okay. Cool.
Okay, it's the last stretch. Keep going. Okay, the final lap.
Narrator really can't make up his mind. That was both the last stretch and the final lap. Jeez. Really look forward to playing R4 in future, because the story mode on that is just great, and it gives you new tracks to play, and the difficulty isn't quite as absurdly hard as this, and yeah, it's just controls better. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's a gradual thing. Like, the controls were getting better and better with each game, each Ridge Racer, and you know, at this point they were still a little primitive, and going back to them, yeah, R4 is my favourite, I'd say. Yeah, definitely. I like 2 a lot as well, aka Ridge Racer Revolution. But yeah, R4 just feels right to me, you know. I never really have to second guess a drift or something. If I fuck up a drift, it was my own fault. You know what I mean? Or if I like collide with a guy, I don't go flying like 50 feet into the wall. You know, it's got that good balance of realism and arcadiness that I think is certainly lacking here. But it's okay. Hey, 6th place. Okay, so 2 more attempts at this, I think. But yeah, like, compared to the last stage, I really didn't have much trouble with the first 2 on here. This is something else. So my best time is 1:22. That's pretty cool. So the time attack mode is something else this game has that you can have some fun with, especially with the saving capabilities and all that, which I think was quite novel at the time. The idea of being able to challenge yourself, challenge your friends, that kind of thing, with your best times. And but unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, the saving is quite limited in what it actually saves. You do have to sort out your controls every time and stuff like that. And I don't think it saves the unlocked cars either, so fucking shit out of luck. You got to do this every time. You really don't have to get very close to the wall at all to just bounce off it. It's a little trigger happy. I mean, it's an early PS1 game. In fact, it's the first PS1 game, I believe. So I can't be too harsh on it, but it is testing me for sure. If you look on the side of the box of this game, in fact, it has the code for the first PS1 game. It's like SCPH001 or whatever. So it's pretty cool shit. It was a good example of what the hardware could do, although maybe not the best racing game on the system by any means. It was certainly improved. Jeez. Okay, so I have one more attempt after this, and we're calling it quits for the night. Fucking redefining the term spike after dark here. This might as well be fucking spike after the sun comes up. Fucking stream goes on all night. It's fucking botch drift there. Man. Cracks me up when he drifts in the wrong direction. I don't know how the fuck logistically that works, but it works. It happens. Yeah, my performance is definitely deteriorating here. I don't know if it's just me running out of energy or what, but my third place is a distant memory now. My second place, I think it was in this car, but we do have one more try. Jeez.
Okay, it's the last stretch. Keep going.
And there is the finish line. 7th place. Gave the default car one little whack on the arse there. Why not? Okay. Last try of the night. But hey, it has been fun. I really like this game. And I've really liked talking to all of you and reminiscing on this era of really great driving games, but really hard driving games, it must be said.
All right, everyone. 1 minute to go. Are you ready?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go! Wow, what a start! This is just what I wanted to see. 3 laps to go.
The endless drift.
Next corner stop. Watch yourself.
I love when the camera goes behind the mountain and you're just kind of staring into the void. I mean, what can you do? Yeah, as I said earlier, the drifts kind of feel like they're on rails and a certain animation, you know? Like, that shit was not... That was not the drift worthy of that corner, but it's the drift I got. I thought I'd be daring there and try and take it on the inside, but it was not to be. Yeah, the music is so good. It's grooving 24/7. I mean, it's hard to define what it even is. I think you know, it's just the fucking mid-90s, you know. Ah. Not even the Negcon could save me from this humiliation. Here we go. Let's at least try and match one of our previous records. I did. I was trying, you know. I thought, let's try something daring here. Because they were all clumped together at it. And I thought, well, if I'm going to overtake them, now's the time. Oh. Well, I did a nice drift, but unfortunately I also whacked somebody, so ended up not panning out. And here they all go in front of me. But yeah, at this point, I'm just looking for cheap maneuvers of winning. The time for fair play has come and gone, I'm afraid. The green car is not here to fuck around anymore. Okay. Ooh. I don't know what happened there. I almost went over the edge. That was very bizarre. Just jumped for no reason. Well, looks like it's going to be, yep, 6th place. Oh man, look at that. Almost 3 hours. And I would hazard to guess about at least 2 of them were spent right here on this course. Boing, 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 boing. Okay, so that is Namco's Ridge Racer. It's a good game. You know what? I think if you were to play this these days, and you're on a decently, you know, a decently endowed computer, maybe the arcade version would control a little better, maybe, because this is a little twitchy, even with the Netcon. I was thinking it'd be a little smoother. I don't even necessarily know if it's the controls that are the issue, rather than the fact that, you know, the physics in the game are just so twitchy, you know. That's how it goes. But in any case, it's still a great game. It's still fun. I still had a good time. Even though I spent most of that just staring intently at the screen, trying to fucking will the yellow car to not go in front of me. But it didn't work. He went in front. So, let's move it Back to the storeroom. Okay. So, the time has come for me to talk about what's coming up next week. Yes. Here it is. Here is the schedule. Bam. So, it's the same days as before. On Friday at 7 p.m, 777, we're playing Midtown Madness 2, which is a PC game set in my neck of the woods. And I know of it. I haven't played it before. I think I've played a demo of the first game on the school computers way back in the day. That was quite fun. But this is the real deal. This is the sequel. I believe there's also a third game on the Xbox. So we'll play this one and we'll hopefully have a good time. I can guarantee it'll be more interesting than me replaying the last stage of Ridge Racer over and over and over. Because at the very least there'll be different shit to see. Saturday is Initial D arcade stage, the first entry into another Sega series, which is quite underrated, very good, lots of drifting. Yeah, these should all be pretty bite-sized. I mean, Ridge Race, Initial D here has like a story mode and all that, where we can essentially just have a goal where we just go through, we don't have to grind, we can just go through the story. I think it's about 6 to 8 stages from what I remember. I played it years ago, something like that. And yeah, should be easy enough. It controls really well from what I remember. And anyway, Sunday, another Sega title, is Crazy Taxi, which is an absolute classic, of course. And I'm quite good at it, so I reckon that won't be long at all. I'm going to do the arcade stage, the original stage, and the Crazy Box mode, of course, as other VTubers have. I reckon it'll be quite fun. I might grind Crazy Box a little bit, depending on, I think some of them might be a little hard. But I don't know, probably not. I'll probably be quite good at Race Taxi, so none of these streams will hit the fucking 3-hour mark. We'll have a nice chill time next week. As always, though, thank you guys so much for coming. It's been such a fun 3 days. It's been complete lunacy. It really has. I don't know what I expected, but I've really got a buzz from doing this kind of thing, and I hope to get better and better at it. I hope to have a whole lot less dead air on these upcoming games, and have to focus a little less so I can talk to you guys a bit more, because yeah, grinding in racing games isn't the best, and ideally the little amount you have to do is for the best. But yes, thank you for joining me once more, and I will join you all again Friday. Yeah, man, I'm glad you had a fun night. Always trying to have a chill time here for a bit of retro racing. And yeah, thank you for lurking. Thank you, random lurker, for lurking and chatting and doing all that shit. It's been great having you guys, and it's been great streaming. Thank you. Thank you, Ringo. Thank you, Lurker. Thank you, everybody that's popped in, said hello. Yeah. I'll be doing a lot more of these. I'll be getting better. I'll be getting my reps in, and we'll be revisiting a lot of these classics together. So, until the next time, I'm Spike, and this has been a fucking 3-hour trek. But it's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Good night.